everybody, we're going to do the pledge followed by a moment of reflection. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have a moment of reflection? We recently celebrated Juneteenth, Freedom Day, and coming up is Independence Day. And we all know that freedom is not free, per se. So let's keep all of those folks that are overseas fighting for our freedom in our thoughts, and those that made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you very much, Mr. Finch.
Those requirements of the public meeting one and satisfied the tendency, the whole district will start with published notice on November 25th, 2022, which should be so early in the minutes of the meeting, and proposed on the minutes of the board. Councilman Bauer.
Here.
Councilwoman Davis.
Here.
Councilwoman McCullough.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Fitzgerald.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Vice President Anderson. Here. President McCallum.
Here.
And I'll get a motion to approve the minutes from June 13th.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning our second reading ordinances this evening, we're going to take letter A first, which is an amendment to chapter 7, which regulates the disbursement of fuel to all terrain vehicles and dirt bikes, whether delivery to and or from the storage facility. I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading with public hearing open.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public hearing is now open on letter A only. There are no comments from the public. I get a motion that the public hearing be closed. The ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law.
Motion. Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter A is an ordinance of the Township Council adopting the amended Smith Street and Woodbridge Street redevelopment plan. I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open.
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public hearing is now open on letter B only.
And let it be the Smith Street and the development entity, is that behind the Hungarian church?
I'm not sure of the location. It's not used to be firehouse.
Casey, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, it's in Casey. It's a 3 hour. Oh, fine. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments on letter B?
Thanks for clearing that up.
There are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll take letter C, which is an amendment to our land use ordinances with regards to pylon payments to the parking. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on a second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public hearing is now open on letter C open.
Let us see. Ordinance amendment, chapter 150, land use and the development ordinances of the township Woodbridge regarding pilot payments. If I'm in my memory correct, wasn't the 150 the development side was the supposed of the non property, everything else, it's the same property?
No, chapter 150, so is everything to do with land use and development ordinance, it's nothing to do with 150 Admiral Street.
Okay.
Any other comments on the letter C? Yeah. No other comments, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion. Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter D, an ordinance authorizing the sale of certain property at 28 South Church Street. They got a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open.
Motion. Okay.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Public hearing is now open on letter D, letter D only. There's no comment from the public, and the public hearing will close the documents submitted when they're approval as required by law.
Motion. Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letters E, F, and G are all first reading ordinances. Can I get a motion that they be passed on first reading, published by ordinance review on June 30th, 2023, and closed public hearing to be held on July 11th, 2023 at 6 p.m.
Motion. Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And before you, I have 51 resolutions listed for you, pulling number 34. With that said, can I get a motion to approve everything from 1 to 51, excluding 30?
Motion. Second.
Questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Vote.
All right, we're going into the public portion of the meeting, and I'm just going to, if you bear with me, read some of the guidelines for this section. When approaching the microphone, which is in the back, please state your name and what section of the town or street you live in. You have 5 minutes. That also includes interacting with any of the council or administration. While videotaping, there's a section in the back of the room where that's the only place that you can videotape. The public session of the meeting, again, each speaker is allowed 5 minutes, which includes any interaction, and we'll try to stay strict to that, let you finish your sentence. When there's a 1 minute warning, I'll try to give a gesture so that you have the opportunity to close out and make your final point. All right, so we're open now to the public. Anybody has anything on their mind, now's the time. Please go to the back by the microphone. The microphone is predominantly, by the way, folks, for the recording. It's not necessarily to amplify your voice, so we'll be able to hear you loud and clear, so don't worry about that.
I'm just going to read something, that's okay.
Or just tell us your name and where you're from.
Carrie Morales, this is my husband Joe, and we live in the First Ward.
Well,
Thank you. I came here to thank Council President Greg Ficarra for keeping our family and neighborhood safe. I love this town so much that I bought my childhood home so I could raise my own children here. But as the years fly by and I see things changing in Woodbridge, it becomes truer the saying, you cannot raise your children how your parents raised you, because they raised you for a world that no longer exists. We live in a corner lot on a quiet street consisting of only 4 houses. In the last 10 years or so, we have noticed more and more people parking on the side of our house and just sitting in their cars, sometimes for hours. When this first started, my parents would call the police, or my Spitfire and my mother would just approach them and ask if they needed help. But once I bought the house in 2018, it didn't bother me too much. I didn't care about cheating partners. I wasn't at the window clutching my pearls that people were smoking pot. I did, however, once approach a group of guys sitting on my neighbor's retaining wall with an entire hookah set up. There are times we can see smoke coming out of their windows and can even smell that very specific weed smell. One time a guy got out, went around to his trunk, brought an entire box of pizza back into the car. Another person, as it turns out, was just stealing time from his job and sitting in his car for his full 6-hour shift. But we don't always know why they're there, and we have children now. And my husband worries about more nefarious things that may put our safety at risk because of the line of work he's in. Like I said, we have a little boy now and another on the way, and what goes on out there now affects them and their well-being. So now I'm bothered. My kids should not have to witness drug use of any kind while playing with chalk in our backyard. We even saw one of these guys on our cameras get out of his car, walk onto our property, and would look to pee through our chain link fence into our yard where our son plays. So the next night when they came back, we called the police. Of course, as soon as we hung up, the car left. We went outside to speak to the officers and showed photos to document the drug paraphernalia and straight up trash left behind. We showed them the video still of the guy at our fence, but we were told if the car is legally parked, they have no probable cause to approach them. When I questioned whether the smell or the smoke coming from the vehicle was probable cause, we were told no. I remember being a curious kid, doing things I had no business touching. But now in this new world, we have to worry about our children dying from fentanyl exposure if they touch garbage in front of their house. What if our son or one of the other neighborhood kids who often ride their bike there picks up an empty container and dies because that pot was laced with fentanyl? The officer's response was, I understand. I disagree that he did. They offered to patrol the area and said hopefully just their presence would be enough to deter them from coming back. It wasn't a good enough solution for me, not only as a mother, but a heavily pregnant, hormonal, and fiercely protected mother. So I reached out to Mr. Ficarra, and he got back to me right away, detailing everything he did to address it, and he said, let's wait and see what happens. We didn't have to wait long, because those same guys came back that night like clockwork. Joe and I were watching the cameras as they arrived. First car, followed by the second car, and then a third car pulled up behind them. But that third car turned out to be an unmarked police vehicle. The officers came to speak to us after to let us know the guys would not be coming back. They were front for the amboy and chose our neighborhood because it was quiet. They didn't think they would be bothered. The officers told my husband that the police department would be doing a neighborhood patrol. They spoke to all of our neighbors, and they said if we see anything, to say something. But since that night, what we have seen are the police patrolling the neighborhood, and no cars have been back. I know if anyone does come back, I can with confidence call my police department. We owe this, and therefore our son's safety, to Mr. Ficarra. I see so much public negativity regarding those in public service. Sadly, social media is also part of that new world, but not enough gratitude. So we just wanted to come out and tell you how grateful we are for you, for keeping us and our kids safe. So thank you.
Thank you, Tara. Thank you, Joe. Most of the thanks, of course, goes to the director. Can you please extend that to the department? And the guys that came out were fabulous because they also spoke to my wife. She had no idea what was going on. So it was just very nice, as Carrie and Joe pointed
Thank
out.
you.
So keep up the good work. Thank you very much. And Councilwoman McCullough, Carrie, was active in that. That's kind of her area. So
Thank you.
she's the first person I call. And then together we plan from there. So thank you very much. Anybody else?
I just want to say thank you very much for coming in. Speaking, because police officers don't always hear that, and council people don't always hear that when something goes well. So thank you, appreciate it. Are there any other comments from the public tonight? Last chance, any other comments?
Wouldn't be a fun meeting without me, right? I know it's about some secret symbolism. Someone asked me just to show that board. Scott Gorge, Woodbridge Township. So, to be a little sarcastic, I will congratulate the council that our state legislature is essentially giving council all across the state basically a blank check and an open invitation to just keep spending, keep issuing 30-year pilots, keep just no accountability. Schools, don't worry about your budgets with the state New Jersey Act, right? It's the unintended consequences that we're just not being serious. I just saw that it keeps moving through the legislature. Unfortunately, certain individuals aren't here, but they'll see the video. So I want to reiterate to people that think about this plan that certain assembly people are trying to pass at the state level to get a 50% tax cut to senior citizens. It sounds great, free money, lower property taxes. Except again, this is not exactly a tax cut. A tax cut implies you have a budget of X, and now you have a budget of X minus, and these people will pay less. That's a tax cut. This is a subsidy on the backs of every other taxpayer. Sounds good. It is designed purely to buy votes. And check with me next year. No one in this chamber, whether here or not here, will be governor. No one will, in this room will even get the nomination for governor. So let's start acting appropriately and start passing laws that actually address the structural issues that plague the property taxpayers in this state. Most notably, having 600 school municipalities, significant load in the administrations of said schools, a bureaucratic state on the school side, and townships issuing 30-year pilots, of which, and I'll come back to it, I still would like to know this council's opinion of the analysis that I had sent on the Woodlawn property pilot. But overall, I would argue that not only does the State of New Jersey Act not fix the issue, temporarily it does, it helps senior citizens feel like they're getting a deal on their property taxes, but it incentivizes all the exact behaviors that are contributing to the structural reasons why New Jersey's property taxes are so absurdly out of control. I'm urging this council to ignore now that if this is supposed to take effect until 2026, and supposedly no one in the state legislature in the news believes that they'll actually honor this upcoming legislation. So we'll wait to see who wins the governor election. But I'm urging this council to be paying attention to that and ignore that that's even coming. Because basically what it's saying is we'll keep issuing these pilots. My analysis showed that in the long run, as we saw 30-year pilots, as school taxes increase, rateable taxpayers get screwed overall while the pilot abilities stay level and don't contribute to those schools. I understand about the shared services, I understand all that. But it incentivizes and will continue to exacerbate all the reasons why people are fleeing the state in droves. It'll keep the senior citizens here a little bit longer, but the next generation will never set up roots here because it will be completely unaffordable. What more do you need than a citizen who is not politically affiliated, works in finance, has an MBA from NYU, is not running for office, has no interests in having this debate? And I have called to schedule time with our state legislatures and have been rebuked and assured by their staff, you ain't gonna hear from them until after the budget passes, which defeats the entire purpose of setting up the meeting, which is why I wish this person were here. Just to be very clear, this act is designed to try to buy votes for an election that certain people are never even going to have a shot at having a chance at winning at. I want to come back to, though, the analysis on the Woodmont property pilot. I sent a very detailed analysis, but not just the spreadsheet, which nobody enjoys reading. Trust me, I didn't enjoy reading it. I still would like to understand this council's thoughts on, responses to the analysis that I sent, to say what doesn't make sense, what does make sense, what are you wrong on, what are you missing. But again, maybe I did wear the right shirt, I didn't intend to, but it is frustrating as a citizen who has no ulterior motives, who has an expertise in something, that sees the train wreck down the path, and just no one listens to it. And one can only then conclude that there are other interests on the other side of the table. That is why we continue running in a certain direction, without any consideration that other people might have better ideas than those in power. And I don't say these terms in power and all this. It's just, I don't have all the answers too, but I'm also not being challenged on the detailed analysis that I spend my time doing to help these bodies. I'm getting reached out to from people at other townships saying, come to our council meeting, we have the same problem, help us. I don't have the time for people to show up at my door because of the videos and this and that. That's why I now have 2 Ring cameras, but I'm just asking for a response. I want to, so when it comes to the analysis, your thoughts, and I appreciate the time as always. Done for like an hour.
Thank you. Scott, I can only speak for myself on this. I appreciate your work in this area and your feelings on it, your opinions on it. You mentioned twice today your background. And purely from my perspective, I'm not speaking for the council. When you talk about backgrounds, Mayor McCormick is the former treasurer of the state of New Jersey. He's an MBA himself. I've been a council person for 16 years, and we've had numerous financial things that we have to deal with, whether it's through buildings and pilots. And I've supported the mayor. He's explained it to me. I've asked him your questions, and I'm totally satisfied with that. So I'm comfortable, certainly, that I respect your credentials, and I certainly respect his credentials. So that's where we're at.
I only mentioned those just for anyone who has to watch it.
We're not going to go back and forth. I'd be happy to talk to you, but we're not going to go back and forth. I just wanted to let you speak and without interrupting you, taking your 5 minutes. Anyone else for public portion? Please step up to the microphone and identify yourself.
My name is Bart. This is my partner Kenny. We just would like to introduce ourselves tonight. We took possession of Liberty Tavern, and we would like to, according to others, council to know we'll be running and opening up very soon.
Wonderful. Well, congratulations.
I'd also would just like to say thank you for giving us this opportunity, and I hope we have a wonderful run here, continue it, Liberty Tavern, and the fine run that they've had for many years. So hopefully we're gonna see you guys, and good luck with everything.
Where is the Sandy address? So everybody knows.
633 King George's Post Road.
Let's not have a domestic talk. Thank you very much. We wish you good luck, and we certainly welcome good businesses into our community. Thank you. Anyone else?
evening. I'm back. I was here on May last year. Nothing has been fixed. I was complaining about the property located 769 747 King George's Road. Has been converted in 2016. Since there no proper parking lot, it's facing residential properties. They have no buffer. There was a buffer before, yes, disappeared. Why this business is an exception from the rules? I'm a neighbor, I cannot be in my backyard. They broke to my fence and one of my dogs ran away, how I told you last year. Never received the money back, obviously. I paid to put the fence back. The parking lot is still a totally jungle. I'm here tonight to ask the township to check the record, what exists at the township, at the zoning and development. Is saying clear, this place has 15% green space. There is none. In other words, I can say it clear, that's a fake record. Based on fake records, we promote businesses on King George's Road. Has to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other comments from the public this evening?
John retired. I want to go back to the West Council meeting. I think there's the mayor the cleanup of the property, which is the James Street. There was the repair shop. And the question was, who's paying for the cleanup? And he said that the previous owners would pay for cleanup. And then I saw the previous owner, it was owned by the Woodbridge Township. But again, I'm looking at today a property on the 160 North James Street. I'm looking at property of 116 North Street, and of course the 107 Grove Street. All this property that's going to be demolished are going to be paid by the township, down to $176,500. If the other property was paid the previous owner, how come we are paying for this demolishing this property? What happened to the previous owner? And number two, the last council meeting, we had $13,800 to have a environmental study how to demolish the property, which is 107 Grove Street. Again, 114 and 116, those property clean, or there was any kind of environmental cleanup around those property before we tear it down. I know I had a property go down and they had to do some of that.
I know the intention of 114 and 116, as it relates to today's meeting, is that we have a pool of people that qualify to do demolition work. And that's all that resolution pertains to. That's all it pertains to. But Mayor, if you have anything to add to that?
I don't know of any issues with 114 or 116 North James Street that involve any kind of environmental cleanup.
But you did have people standing over there. I believe there was environmental people, what you call look at the properties to see any kind of
You always have to look at a property to see, make sure there's no environmental issues.
okay.
We do that for anything we buy.
But you paid on 107 North Street. It was approved $13,800 to study an environmental cleanup.
Like, no, not an environmental cleanup, an environmental analysis to make sure there's no problems before we purchase it or before we demolish it.
Okay.
That's what we do with all properties.
So, but you are paying for this demolition. You are paying for demolition.
Of course we're paying for the demolishing of it because we're making it into a parking lot that we're going to use.
Yeah, but you didn't pay for the one on the repair shop, did you?
What repair shop?
One of you're down at James Street and way out.
That was a complicated transaction because it was done not with a purely cooperative sale. So we had to purchase it and put money in escrow and clean it with the money that the owner would have gotten otherwise.
But you pay for the cleanup.
Like I said, with money that the that the owner would have otherwise received.
Okay. Again, 2 weeks ago, the gentleman went to the horse got hurt on a school soccer field, I believe. And the following day, we went to school for a meeting. And that was overlooked, oversight. Nobody expects something like that probably 1 million times. But I believe there was only field in Woodbridge that did not have any kind of a warning in case of a lightning or thunder. The other fields had it, except that field. And they said it was a new board, or that's the board, that the field was because it wasn't used as much. I think it was overlooked, I don't say negligent, but overlooked. Something like that should be really done. Who's once or twice or never, it's a still playground, so to speak. Anybody can go playground and be there. The other day, I live on Highway Avenue, and then Sunday night, there was a music at a Woodbridge football field. I can hear it in my house. As soon as lightning and thunder came, the music stopped, and everything was completely dispersed. But again, after the lightning went away, people went to the play. But I think something like that should never happen because it's kind of dangerous. There was a lot of kids over there or something, but again, just the one property in particular did not have this warning.
Which property didn't?
The one that Mr. Baumgartner got hit.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Go ahead, Mr.
There's lightning detection at Woodbridge High School, and it covers all the outside facilities.
Right.
It went off the night of the concert, right as the first song was being played, and we cleared the field, and we waited for the lights to stop flashing. And that means it's safe. You can't not use the field for the whole rest of the day or night.
I understand.
You have to wait for the time to come up and it's safe.
Mayor, what I'm
And then we use it again.
He's like a field with Mr. Baumgartner that hit like lightning. There was no any device warning.
There was detection at JFK High School, and everybody heard it.
No.
The problem is that Island Middle School. The problem is that he was using a piece of machinery, and the storm came incredibly quick from a drizzle to a little heavier to a downpour within 30 seconds. So there is detection there. I don't know what you keep hearing in your hair salon, but there is electric detection. I heard it when I was standing out there on the field after the accident happened.
Listen,
The mayor has responded. You are done with your 5 minutes. You're welcome to follow up with Mr. Clark.
And if you have a school board issue, bring it to the school board, but you're not telling the truth, because I heard myself the lightning detection system working.
okay,
Very good.
field.
That's good. We're done. Thank you. Anyone else? You spoke already, ma'am. You can't go back for round 2. You have 5 minutes.
Nobody answered none of my question what I addressed last year. And I will promise in this meeting that somebody will follow up. I never heard anything, and I keep sending emails to different departments, mainly to,
Okay. I'll address it, ma'am.
and they have no answer.
Gotcha. I heard you. Director Dorf, do you have anything to share with us on this?
Yes, I spoke with Ms. Chittook last year when she came to the meeting. I also have sent her several emails. I know that Mike Logan in housing speaks with her and emails back and forth with her on a regular basis, checks out every complaint that she makes. Unfortunately, the building in question was built in the 20s. It was a tavern. There's a whole history that we researched. And so it is not subject to the 15% buffer regulation that Ms. Chittook would like to see. I know that that's not an answer that she wants to hear. It's not actually the answer that I want to give her, because we're in the business of doing whatever we can to help our residents. But that answer isn't going to change So however many times we get the question, that is going to be the answer. But Mike will continue as the chief of housing to follow up on every concern she gives us about vehicles and the businesses that she's living around. And we pledge to keep doing that as long as it takes to get her whatever help we can. Unfortunately, this is not an issue where we can provide a different answer.
Excuse me, I would like to
Excuse me,
respond.
ma'am.
That's not
We don't
the
talk
answer.
from the floor. You can sit down. If you want to address it, we'll follow up on it, but we're not going to have you stand up. You have your 5 minutes. So if you'd like to
So
wait
there is a
after,
record.
excuse me, ma'am. If you'd like to wait after the meeting, I would be happy to sit
Okay.
with you and hear what you have to
Okay,
say.
I will wait.
All right? Thank you. Anyone else?
There are no other comments. Can I get a motion that the public comment portion be closed?
Motion second.
In favor, aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, we're going into our agenda. Folks in the audience, you're welcome to stay, but the formal part of the meeting is over. We're just going to review agenda items that are on our agenda, so you're welcome to stay, but you can also leave and we won't be offended. Harry, Joe, that was correct.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Here we go. In my agenda, I just have announcements. First of all, by now, everybody knows next week, July 3rd, is our, hopefully, the weather committee, is our fireworks celebration of Independence Day at Albert P. Williams Park. The park will be closed during the day, and the gates will open up at 4 o'clock. We have music by Glenn Ritchie and AM Gold. And the fireworks go off at dusk when it's dark enough. Be patient on that. Sometimes it's 9:30, but when it's dark. Following that will be the Pizza Run, which is an annual 4-mile road race that goes around right around the 4th of July every year. And it's a very nice event. It's run through our recreation department. If you have any questions, you can call 732-596-4048. A few other things that are going on. I'm just going to go down the list. I mentioned 2 weeks ago that our Acacia Youth Center is opened up as a drop-in center from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's open up to students in the summer, again, entering the 6th grade to the 8th grade. That's the intent of the Acacia Youth Center. That's over in Port Reading. Just real quick, circling back to the Pizza Run, you can check it out on CompuSport.com/WB for Woodbridge Pizza. Again, you can register online. Our concert series started off well, but Mother Nature hasn't cooperated with us, so we'll jump ahead to this Thursday. We have the Kickback Band over by our waterfront, and on Sunday the 2nd, we have Dead Grass, which is a tribute to Grateful Dead. The Community Center is busy with different kinds of events. We now have pickleball instruction. Also, our outdoor pools. You have the Highland Grove Pool in Fords, and you have the swim club over at Springwood in Colonial, and the miniature golf cages and everything are open behind the community center. You don't always get to see that, so we tend to forget they're there, but it's really a nice place to go with families. So, with that said, I'm going to pass it over to Council Vice President Anderson. You're up.
Thank you, Council President. I want to skip down to the job bank. If you go on to our Employment Opportunity Center, please see that there are positions at Robert Wood Johnson, St. Barnabas Health. New Jersey Division of Civil Rights is hiring right now, and also New Jersey Defense Manufacturing. Join the New Jersey Defense Manufacturing Careers. FEMA is also hiring substitute teachers. This is a perfect time to get substitute certified. We're going to need them in the fall. And New Jersey Transit is actively hiring, and there are signing bonuses at New Jersey Transit for those with CDL license and CDL permit. So please check that website out. It's the Employment Opportunity Center on our township website. If you or anyone you know is looking for a position that's specifically looking for people with Woodbridge addresses. in these jobs. So please visit that site. I want to go down to the Woodbridge Hall of Fame. All of our ballots are in for the Woodbridge Hall of Fame's WTAAA, which is our athletes that graduated from one of the 3 high schools, Woodbridge, JFK, or Colonia. They're 20 years graduated, and they did great things on the athletic fields in high school or in college. But the ballots are in. We will be releasing the name hopefully by the next meeting, and then we'll have our banquet in September. And we ask that everyone try to attend. It's usually held at the community center, and it's always a great event, and it's really a nice way to honor our past athletes. I was able to attend last night and swear in the executive board of the NAACP. I would like to congratulate Reverend Donna Stewart and her executive board on establishing their executive board and having their first in-person meeting since the pandemic, and I was honored to swear those individuals in. I want to thank the Independent Club of Colonia for their participation during Juneteenth, and going down to the Tooling Around Township program. Final ramps were installed as we do our seasonal repairs on those who are unable to or cannot afford repairs. But Eddie, a big shout out goes to Eddie McSherry and his crew that go out to a lot of these homes and install wheelchair ramps, help fix up backyards or stairs, something that someone really needs done in their home. And sometimes it's just a yard cleanup, but they're a senior and maybe their family doesn't live in the area. So I just want to thank everybody that participated in this annual Tooling Around the Township program. Going down to Woodbridge Organization of Neighbors Advocating Change, I would like to thank that organization, that committee, for holding what was probably our best attended Juneteenth event held on the concert grounds over here at Woodbridge High School. It was also on a day where we had a recital inside the school, and the high school football team had a alumni flag football tournament, and so parking was at a minimum. So I just want to thank our police department for working with all the people that were attending all 3 of those events, and thank the police department for being there, and and our fire department as well. They brought the fire engine, had a lot of giveaways for the kids, and also I want to thank the mayor for going into his charitable fund and helping out with the band. We had Epic One, plays a lot of R&B and soul. We had people coming from New York and New Jersey, and they were fantastic, along with DJ Ray. So there was something for the young and the old there. It was a great day. I encourage everyone, and this is where we're celebrating everybody's freedom. So I encourage you to come next year and just participate in fun. And the food was out of this world. So there was all kinds of food out there, and people really, really enjoyed the event. I know this is on your agenda, Councilman DeJesus, but I know you weren't able to attend. I did go to the dedication at the library for Ed Beckerman, who was basically the father of our library system as we know it here in Woodbridge Township. There's a beautiful plaque dedicated in his honor. The library was built in 1974, but he was the first one to tie all of our libraries around town into one system. And there were a lot of people there. He unfortunately passed back in October, but there were a lot of people there that reminisced on his leadership and his vision for our library system, including his sons, which one was Lee Beckerman, who was our director of our TV 35, who just recently retired. So I just want to thank everyone that attended that in bad weather, and it was a very, very nice event, and congratulations to him and his family. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Bauer, you're up.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. A few announcements. Forest Business Community flea market that was rained out last Sunday is rescheduled for Sunday, July 16th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at our public parking lot on New Brunswick Avenue next to the DFW. And just for announcement, a reminder, school is out. Be cautious when navigating our streets and be mindful of our children and have a safe and enjoyable summer. Thank you, Council President. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Small.
Thank you, Council President. Number 16 on the agenda, the American Irish Association is having an Irish Night Out at Woodbridge High School on Friday, July 7th, featuring the Willie Lynch Band beginning at 6 p.m. Number 17, Woodbridge Elks, Saturday, July 22nd, is having Boardwalk Night, begins at 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Food and games for all, and admission is free. Number 18, autograph sessions. The Woodbridge Brewery is hosting on Saturday, July 15th, New York Jets wide receiver Alan Lassard for a meet and greet. That's from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Purchase tickets. Call the brewery at 732-654-2929. A couple of announcements. The Mayor's Free Summer Children's Series, suitable for children 2 to 10, will be Rumpelstiltskin, Saturday, July 22nd, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Snow Wake, Saturday, August 12th, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Suitable for children 6 to 10. Outdoor concerts. Ball in the House presents Totally Vocally, Saturday, July 8th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. The Owls presented by Outside Rock, Saturday, August 5th, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And for children, suitable 10 to 14, outdoor DJ parties, dance parties, Friday, June 30th, July 14th, July 28th, August 18th, all from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. All the series must be accompanied by an adult, and it is held at the Parker Press, which is on 400 Roy Avenue, the park across the street, the Berkeley parking lot. There'll be so many police officer or auxiliary police officer for safe crossing. One other thing, last Friday, somehow, somebody, a dolphin came into the seawater section of town. Apparently was ill. Police department, fire department spent most of the day out there trying to rescue this thing. Finally, it beached itself in the weeds. I know a lot of firemen were out there. They had to get the dolphin into a van. The conservation officer took the dolphin away. Unfortunately, I read today that the dolphin did pass away. But I want to thank everybody for their efforts out there all day long. Happy 4th of July to all. God bless our police officers, firefighters, first responders, public works, all our township employees, and God bless America. That's all I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Day Jesus.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 5, I just want to wish all of the children, boys and girls that will be attending the Junior Police Academy in coming weeks. Item number 9, the Grand Arts Center is hosting To Be or Not to Be. Visual artists interpret the struggle of the global bee population. A jewelry art exhibit at Grand Arts Center this summer. For more information about submissions, please call 732-634-0413. And the outdoor flea market that the Grand Arts Center is hosting will be July 8th from 8 to 2 p.m. Rain and Shine at Acacia Youth Center. Again, that will be July 8th from 8 to 2 p.m. at Acacia, the Grand Arts Center outdoor flea market, and that is all that I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Spiller.
Thank you, Council President Carr. Item number 7, Group 1 redevelopment. I apologize, I missed this on the resolutions. I just want to thank the administration and planning and development for putting forth together Resolution 40 tonight, which will move the process along in the area redevelopment on several blight properties along the border. Item number 11, I'd just like to give an update on the former developmental center property, the Morris Companies, 1289 Roe Avenue. They've completed construction on the 1.2 million square foot warehouse, and they've received their CO as of the present time. There are no signed leases. The rest of my agenda is in order, Council President. Just one statement, 4th of July is coming. We have an excellent 4th of July show that was mentioned. Several members on my fellow councilmates being in the fire service. That sound like Debbie Downer. I'm not a fan of non-professional fireworks. Leave it to the professionals, please. PD will be enforcing. I want to thank the police director for that, and the police department. You don't understand what it does to pets and of our disabled pets with PTSD. So come out to Outer Wings and watch the fireworks professionally. Thank you to all our emergency responders, fire, EMS, our police department, CERT, and all of our public works employees and township employees. God bless America. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Leahan.
Thank you, Council President. I just have my agenda's in order. I just have one announcement today, and it is just to save the date for the Clubbing Family Barbecue and Charity Football Tournament that will be held on August 19th. It begins at 10, registration is at 10:15. It starts at 11, and we just need you to register by August 12th. It's a very well-attended event, so we need for teams to register. It is a charity event also, so everything that we raise at this event will be donated to Eric Baumgartner from Public Works, who was, as we were talking about, people instructed while it's working. So all the proceeds will go to him. So if anybody wants to donate a basket or needs any information, reach out to me at 732-382-0273. And I just want to thank Mr. Simlica for your help with Campbellwood. This has been a long process, and I appreciate working on it too. And that's all I have. It's safe work that
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Patel.
Council President, also my I'd also in honor announcement. First of all, I'd like to mention about this. There is an exhibition which is going on at the Verona Center. The exhibition is titled It's a glimpse into the Hebrew civilization. The exhibition just started yesterday and will be there for next Friday, June 40th. And the hours of the exhibitions are from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Also, I have one thank you. Last week, there were some residents living on Elizabeth Avenue across from the Indian Avenue Elementary School in Israel. They had some concerns about some dead trees across from their houses. Those trees were about 60 to 70 feet tall and had potential to fall on the electric lines or on their houses. So last week I asked the township to go out and investigate the situation and take some appropriate actions. The township announced that and promptly remove those dead trees within 2 days. The residents in the area, they are so happy to see the potential danger has been gone. I would like to thank our stricter crew from the Public Works and our director crew and all the staff for their cooperation and prompt action. I also would like to wish everyone a happy 4th of July celebration and happy Independence Day.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Cole.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I have a few announcements to make today. The farmers market, our weekly Saturday farmers market opened this past Saturday in the newly renovated Hartford West Park. Despite the rain, we had a great turnout from our residents. The farmer had a vast variety of fresh grown vegetables. The woodworker, soap, honey, cookie, tea, and Afghan vendors all had items that would make fantastic gifts for all occasions. And it's never too early to start shopping for the holidays. The arts, the Gallery on Main, located at 41 Main Street, will be hosting a summer art reception on July 12th from 7 to 9 p.m. Come out and meet our local artists and enjoy some light refreshments. Seward Library, number 12, has their summer reading program started at the Seward Library, so log on to www.sewardlibrary.org to get the details on the summer reading program. And number 15, the environmental division, green infrastructure. The most recent green infrastructure project was completed in Boynton Park in Fort Reading on June 14th by the students in the Columbia High School Ecology Club with the support of the Township Department of Public Works. Approximately 200 feet of previous turf grass has been converted into a native pollinator garden with 900 native flowers. Native flowers are very colorful and attract pollinating insects like butterflies and honeybees, which are critical aspects of a healthy environment. This project is extremely timely as the week of June 19th through 25th has been named National Pollinator Week by the United States Department of Agriculture Society. And they've done this to support the continued commitment for pollinating health. What an outstanding job by the ecology club students at Columbia High School. Thank you for helping our environment. I would just like to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th of July. God bless America. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Mr. Vince.
Mr. President, I'm going to ignore the 1B from my agenda, everything else is in order.
Very good. Mr. Semaluka.
Thank you, Council President. I got a short agenda tonight. I have one resolution for tax and sewer overpayment. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Director Lover.
Nothing this evening. Thank you, Council President.
Good man. Director Lukowski, I'll just say that. Director Garden, anything?
Just a standard bi-weekly refund resolution, thank you.
All right, we're on the roll. Director Brew.
One item for resolution, Council President, thank you. It's change order to contract number 2023-009, and that's for stream bank stabilization and stream cleaning for South Branch of the Rollway River, Herdsbrook, and Camel Creek. And it's a release of a surety bond. Thank you.
Very good, thank you, Director. Anything from legal?
Nothing this evening, thank you, Council President.
Very good. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Second. All those